Hello there. Happy birthday to you. I miss you kids. You guys be good. And I will be there soon to wish you happy birthday with a great present. I love you both very much. And tell everybody hi. Big hugs and kisses on your birthday.
Throw me in the landfill. Don't think about the consequences. Throw me in the dirt pit. Don't think about the choices that you make.
I retired in 2007 as a colonel in the United States Air Force. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. I joined the military way back in 1979. When I really didn't want to go in the military. I wanted to be a radio and television broadcaster. I worked a year at a TV studio, but when they downsized, I was the young guy who got cut out. I wanted to go find something else to do in that field, and I was told that I could make Air Force Now movies if I joined the Air Force, which I did, and was commissioned in 1979 in the communications field, but never got to make movies. But I did have a great career, and it was well worth it.
I remember it was the end of my junior year, and I was kind of contemplating what I was going to do with my life, and I went home that night, was at the dinner table, asking my dad about his Marine Corps experience, and he said he was at boot camp and he was on a run, and a drill instructor came behind him and told him to hurry up, and he didn't hurry up, so the drill instructor punched him in the head, made him fall to the ground, and I said, that's what I want. So I ended up going what's called the Delayed Enlistment Program, the DEP, as a junior in high school. So basically I signed up, took the ASVAB test, took all the physical tests, and it was about a year later, so when I graduated my 12th grade year, I enlisted in the Marine Corps, went to Parris Island, South Carolina, graduated Honor Man, went from there to infantry training school, and then from infantry school I volunteered for a reconnaissance unit. Actually did that for 6 years. Went to Desert Shield, Desert Storm, a bunch of other deployments, came back, got out, had started college, finished college, so then I finished my college degree and I said, okay, so what am I going to do now? Actually, when I was an enlisted guy, I got in a little trouble in a bar fight, so my job opportunities were limited, so I said, hey, why don't I go back in the Marine Corps as an officer?
I actually started thinking about joining the military when I started thinking about going to college. Since my dad's been in the military for so long, he kind of showed me some scholarships about going to college for free, and just like growing up in a military home, there's been lots of benefits. I really like being in the ROTC program. We learn a lot about like what it would be like to be in the Navy, and there's actually real people who are in the Navy and in the military and in all the different branches that come in and talk to us and tell us stories. So in that way it does feel really real that we get a taste of what it's like because they're telling us personal stories.
When I was little, I was always just scared of everything. I didn't want to try anything new, take any risks, and my dad was just he was just one of those dads who was just like, you know, get your hands dirty, go find out what the real world is like, go learn how hard it is, how tough it is out there. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. And so obviously I never wanted to join the military. I always thought that was just the scariest thing. And the last year I started to think about my career and what I'm going to do for the future. My entire life I've always wanted to go into filmmaking. Just lately I've been thinking about the Air Force. I've been thinking, hey, why not join the Air Force? My dad was in the Air Force. I've always loved the military, and I really like it, and I started thinking about joining the Air Force after high school, joining maybe for basic training.
He had just come back from remote for a year. He's in King Salmon, and he was going to be working in DC and the Pentagon. So he was looking for apartments, so he came. I was the person next in line to lease an apartment for him, and we got that taken care of. And honestly, I really didn't want anything to do with him at the time, but eventually, you know, as far as I invited him to a party and seeing him, it just happened. I mean, it's just one of those things that I fell for him. We got married in March 20th. We got married, and I had gone to California for a short time, and we came back to Northern Virginia, and I was pregnant, and we had the baby in Arlington, and it just that he had to go. He had his next tour was in Alabama, and I stayed here while my eldest child, just to figure out how to do things as a new mother. And then flew to Alabama, and that's where we started our family life.
When I met my husband, we were in Algebra 2 class in high school, and I was actually dating someone else at the time, and a friend of mine was sitting in front of him, and when I came in, he asked my friend who I was and how she knew me, and she said, "Leave her alone, she has a boyfriend." And not too long after that, I was no longer dating that guy, and we didn't actually start dating until right before prom of our senior year. And he went into the military right after he graduated, and we got married. He went in 1986, and we got married in 1989, Thanksgiving weekend, and we've been together ever since.